news. Watch some news a little bit, I guess. There's a picture of football that looks like the Carolina Panthers. It is the Carolina Panthers. Okay, search. Wait. Upcoming event. Let me exit YouTube and then come back in. Helped last time.
Why does it take you so long? It like shows right up on my YouTube account.
I had to close YouTube. Go and find it again.
Like I don't have to find it, it always shows up. Just comes right up for me.
Search your name.
I don't even have to search anything, it just comes up.
It still says upcoming event.
Then why is mine working?
I have no idea.
See? Then why is mine working?
Well, let me try searching your name again. And go straight for your profile instead. Because that's what I had to do last time too. Okay, I see you.
Okay. I'm trying to now get out of this thing. Alright, it's gone now. Cool. Finish preparations. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay. Now then, let's begin. Oh yeah, we know what happened. Blah, blah. Oh yeah, Monami's pissy. Hold on, I forgot.
Monami. She's angry.
She's really mad, dude. I skipped a little bit. It says, "Oh my, Monami, my cute little sister, you're awfully quiet. What's happened to you? You've ascended the ladder of adulthood and reached the moon because you're a rabbit." You know, because they say that in Japanese folklore, there's rabbits that live on the moon. That's why Sailor Moon's name is Usagi.
Oh.
It's Usagi. Oh God, why can't I remember? Her last name means moon. Oh, I can't remember it for some strange reason. But yeah, that's a Japanese thing, that there's rabbits on the moon. So. Testo, whatever that means. She doesn't care. She's still pissed. One more time. Jeez, how about this one? This will be my final blow. It's useless. Please stop. I feel bad for Monami. You're right. Now's not the time for me to horse around with Monami. The class trial has started, after all. The victim this time is Nagito, who is attempting to reveal the traitor for everyone's sake. Who in the world killed him? I'm so curious. If he was killed for trying to reveal the traitor, the traitor's obviously the killer. They were trying to shut Nagito up. No, that might not be it. Huh? Are you trying to protect the traitor? They didn't call out when we were in danger. Wait, don't tell me you're the traitor. Don't say something so stupid. There's no way in hell I'm the traitor. Now that's more like it. Why don't you guys hurry up and start arguing already? The traitor and the killer who murdered Nagito is here, right? Are they the same person? Or... Killer didn't tape Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they tortured him. The reason why Nagito's body was covered with wounds is because the killer tortured Nagito. But Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape, so he wouldn't have been able to confess anything. If he was being tortured for information, they wouldn't have taped his mouth shut like that. Oh God. Really? Fuck you. I just realized it. It's a trap. Trap? Shut up, Hajime. Stupid Hajime, you got caught in that trap. Stupid? What, baby? Mama is busy right now, okay?
Like I thought you were going to bed.
Like you said, Nagito.
Kazuichi seems unusual confident. I should ask him why that is.
Like you said.
But if you tape his mouth shut,
How is he supposed to
how is he supposed to answer anything?
Pay attention. This is how it went. After they
There we go. No, there's no doubt Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape before he was beaten up. What did you say? Who cares about the duct tape? We might as well settle this with rock, paper, scissors. We don't need to play a game. It's clear the duct tape was on his mouth before the torture even began. Why do you always side with Hajime? Do you have a crush on him or something? Are you in elementary school or something? You were with us when I peeled the duct tape off Nagito's mouth, right? The blood on Nagito's face wasn't under the duct tape, remember? The blood on his face came from his arm wounds, which means the duct tape was on his face before his arms were even wounded. And the duct tape had a lot of crinkles around his mouth. He must have been struggling to open his mouth under the duct tape. Perhaps the duct tape was used so he wouldn't be able to scream. But it's like I said in the beginning, the tape wasn't for torture, it was to keep his mouth shut. However, if they wanted to seal his mouth, they did not need to hurt him with such ferocity. They probably had a deep grudge against Nagito. Then, are you saying the killer was trying to make him suffer? If so, that's freaking crazy. Did they go psycho or something? No, they didn't just go crazy. Whoever did this must be one crafty bastard.
If not, they wouldn't have taken the time to set fire.
They wouldn't have taken the time to set fire to the crime scene and destroy all the evidence. The warehouse fire was for destroying evidence? We can't think of any other reason. But who could have done that? When the fire occurred, everyone in the room was gathered in front of the warehouse. Yeah, and after I opened the warehouse door, the flames started burning from the very back. Which means it is plausible to think that nobody here set the fire. The killer wasn't us, but that's not the case, huh? I mean, it's wishful thinking. Even if it was only a coincidence, the timing was just too perfect. Based on the pattern up until now, we should suspect that some kind of setup was used for this. Some kind of setup? Like what? I do not know that, but that has been the pattern before. That's our Miss Sonia. You have such an amazingly high intellect. Alrighty then, let's think about this based on what Miss Sonia thinks. Is that okay, Miss Sonia? Damn right it is. The reason for the fire, huh? They're right. We need to clear that up first. Oh god, he's bawling. The direct cause of the fire was the oil lighter in front of the crime scene. The killer used some kind of setup and lit the curtain on fire with the lighter. Some kind of setup? Did they use the oil as an improvised fuel? They probably just threw the lighter. Based on the shape of that oil lighter, it can stand upright while it was flame is lit. They tipped over the lighter in some way. They could have ignited the curtain. Some way? Maybe they used invisible thread. They should have waited to tip it over with sound waves. Or perhaps opening the door. That's right. Consent! Sorry, I just think it's so funny when they do that.
It is hilarious.
I also agree
that opening the door is what started the fire. Just as I thought, it was the wind pressure. A dust devil blown here from the glorious Japan. No, not wind pressure. They probably used the Monokuma panels. A huge number of them tipped over Monokuma panels were found at the crime scene, right? It looked like they were scattered everywhere, but some were lying on top of each other in a single line. Just a single line leading from the warehouse door to the fire's origin. Does that mean anything? The killer probably arranged those Monokuma panels to create a domino effect. A domino effect. You mean those tiles kids play with by lining them up and tipping them over? In place of those tiles, the killer used some Monokuma panels. So when we opened the warehouse door, the first panel toppled into the second. And from there, they fell like dominoes until they reached the lighter at the very end. But wouldn't it be obvious that those big panels were falling over? That's probably why they turned off the lights in the warehouse so we wouldn't notice them. So the reason the warehouse was dark was to hide the domino effect. And one more thing. There was something else that the killer did to hide the domino effect, right? The killer did one other thing to hide the domino effect. It doesn't necessarily mean something. Whatever. Be that way. Why the heck does it do this? Unless I use this. Where is it? There it is.
So, if they didn't see the domino effect happening because it was dark, don't you think they would have saw the light of the fire?
The fire did start up right after the domino effect happened.
Yeah.
And they were like, holy crap, it's a fire!
Oh, okay, they did see it.
Yeah, and that's why they went and got the fire extinguisher stuff?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Duh.
That's right. I remember the fire extinguisher.
You're talking about the MP3 player, right? That hymn blaring throughout the warehouse masked the sound of falling panels. Yeah. Yeah. It started, see? That's it. So the strange sound was actually the sound of the panels falling. She has, like, superior hearing and smell, so... But those sounds weren't the only strange thing, right? Looking back on it, it was also strange when we opened the door to the warehouse. Yeah, she had to bang it open. Ah, so the door was being blocked by a Monokuma panel. And when we opened the door, the domino effect started, and falling panels eventually reached the lighter. Yeah, and that's how the warehouse caught on fire. At least, that's how it looks. You don't look so sure. At the time, Akane mentioned that she could barely open the door. Because the panel was blocking it, right? But the blocked doorway, there wasn't enough space for a person to fit through, right? Is that a problem? It's a major problem. I mean, that door was the only entrance to the warehouse. That door was the only entrance to the warehouse. I see, so the problem Chiaki's talking about is... Killer couldn't have left. If the panel was so close to the door that it could barely be opened, the killer inside the warehouse wouldn't be able to leave, right? Now that you mention it, does that mean they were hiding inside? Who? We were all outside the warehouse, you know?
Could you hear me?
What?
I couldn't hear you for like a minute. So.
How could you not hear me? I'm on air and everything.
It completely went, the sound went out completely. So, I don't know. But you're back now, so.
I couldn't hear you, so...
You could hear me say I can't hear you?
No, I couldn't hear you at all. Didn't sound like you were talking.
Well, I said it clearly, so we didn't
Well, my
hear each
internet's
other.
working fine, because I'm still on air.
So, I don't know, maybe, I don't know what happened, but we both couldn't hear each other.
But I know for sure your thing messes up more than mine does.
Yeah, it does.
Mine never messes up. The only time it messes up is when I got kicked off. So of course, it's a $250 headset, so it shouldn't mess up that easily.
Mm-hmm.
But made for broadcasting, actually. That's why it has its own sound panel.
Yeah.
But
I don't know what happened though. We both couldn't hear each other, so.
But yeah, I'm on air, so I know my
kept going.
internet's working fine.
Yeah, I can see yours, and I'm pretty. It's pretty fast and caught up today. So, and it hasn't had any, you know, twirling, uploading screens, and my phone is still.
Oh yeah, and you have your TV on mute, so you couldn't hear what I was saying either.
Yeah.
So.
It's okay. I read it.
Okay. Yeah, they couldn't get out of the warehouse, like, because the panels were so close up, and that's what they're discussing right now, so. You don't have to think so hard. There's actually only one person who could have possibly done this. Chiaki knows everything. Huh? You don't mean... But if that's true, this murder... Hajime? What do you mean?
It was
the person who set up the domino effect inside the warehouse. You really think she's that smart? There's only one person who could have done that. Guess who set it up?
Nagito.
Yep. What if it was Nagito? Why'd you bring him up? He's the victim, you know. But he didn't kill himself. He wasn't just the victim, maybe. Huh? Not just the victim. What does that mean? He was the victim, and he was the perpetrator, too, maybe. Are you saying this was a suicide? Don't be so stupid. His body was covered in torture wounds, or did you already forget? Are you saying those were all self-inflicted?
Self-inflicted?
Yeah, they were. But Nagito might do something like that, don't you think? Yeah. He did it to himself, all of it. That's why if you notice one hand wasn't tied up, he wanted it to look like it was burned, but that was because he could use that hand. And it'll explain how the knife got into the hand to make it look like his hand was. And also, there's other things like the reason why there wasn't blood in a certain spot on his hand. And yeah, but if you think about it, he was able to like stab himself repeatedly on his thighs, even with his legs tied up and his other hand tied up. And then if you notice, like, there's no wounds whatsoever on the hand that got stabbed into the floor. So.
So then, how could he do all that to himself?
I'm just gonna explain it.
No. And still, they have a killer afterwards that had a killing blow.
Because he set it up so the traitor would reveal themselves. He did this a certain way to make it to where the traitor killed him. And it had to do with his luck. Except it didn't go the way exactly how he wanted it to. His luck kind of, was lucky. It was kind of unlucky this one time. It was lucky in the fact that everybody gets to find out who the traitor is, but it was unlucky in the fact of the way it turned out. So, which I can't tell you, of course. So, yeah. So, yeah. That's not the issue. He was tied up, remember? Even for a creep like Nagito, it'd be impossible for him to tie up his own arms and legs. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, as long as you understand. It seems we need to discuss how Nagito was able to tie himself up. Need to discuss? That's not necessary at all. No matter how much you think about it, it's clearly impossible. Like he said, it seems impossible if you think about it, but I feel like I'm overlooking something. Yeah, this will show like more. To only tie up your own legs. That's obviously impossible. Tying up the legs is just one thing, but tying both arms would also be impossible. You couldn't do much with the free arm. It'd be impossible if you were by yourself. How about if you use your teeth? Or you use your left front tail? What? Dirty joke! Is that a dirty joke? Alright, it's, yeah, like the first bullet, so... First tail. Hold on a sec. Isn't that premise flawed? What? I mean, it's no mistake that his arms and legs were... No, it shouldn't have been both of his arms. The rope on his right arm was completely burned up. Based on that, you can't say he was tied up. That was just burned by the fire. He should have been tied up before then. It burned because of the fire. Like you said, it might look like that. But that was part of the trap. That's concrete evidence that proves that he should have burned it like a little bit further from his own body. Take a close look at his right sleeve. Even though the rope was burned up, his sleeve wasn't burned at all, wouldn't you agree? A burn like that, no matter how much you think about it, is unnatural. Trying to say that. That rope was burned in advance, so it would look like it was burned in the fire. The Nagito's right arm wasn't tied up, right? He was able to move it freely, right? Yeah, that should be the case. Hajime, that's awesome. I'll let you cop a feel if you want. This is the part I was telling you about! Taking pictures. Wait, like... Holly, I so badly want to be like, I'm not even playing Royal because you're basically playing it for me and telling me everything. Like, I wanted her to say, because I was talking earlier, and, about the games that I needed to play, and I was hoping they'd be like, oh, I thought you were going to play Persona, and I was like, I don't need to because Holly's doing it, because she's telling me everything that's going on. Akane, you should not give it away for free. Make sure they pay you first. Hold on. I have to take pictures of all these. That's definitely wrong. Fine, I just gotta get a Benjamin from him before I let him touch me, right?
What the heck, Akane?
I know. That's not what I meant. I'm talking about Nagito. This is like my favorite thing in the world because it's so fucking hilarious. So, yeah. I love this fucking game. I love it. They're like, Hajime, I'll let you cop a fill as you want. You do not give it away. Okay, if you're gonna drop a Benjamin, you can cop a few. It's like not wanting to go through. There we go. Yeah, Hajime, that's awesome. I'll let you cop a feel. Kana, you should not give it away for free. Make sure they pay you. And she's like, sure, I'll do it for Benjamin. I just love it. It's like my favorite thing. Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. You didn't say I'm just checking.
Oh, I just saw something real quick. I was reading it a little bit. Just real quick. It's just something that somebody in the Animal Crossing group posted about losing their son, and they built a memorial for him in the game. And I was going to comment, but the admins closed the commenting, so I can't see.
I had a friend that, like, if you had a link to your old Animal Crossing game, you could get your old character. And I had a friend that did that and put, like, all these flowers around it and stuff. like that. So yeah. God, Akane corrects. That's the part I was telling you about. Like, the whole, I was like, that's what she's telling you to do it, like... So... Okay. I mean, even if its right hand wasn't tied up, the knife was still stabbed into it, you know? It's impossible to stab a knife into your right hand with your right hand. Ah, that much is obvious. Hajime, you tricked me! Give me back that Benjamin!
Benjamin. Give me back that Benjamin.
Oh god.
Did she actually give
Not
it to
only
him?
did she try to charge me, but now she wants the money back? What the heck? I gotta take a picture of that too.
She's a hoot.
I love it. Not only did she try to charge me, now she wants the money back? What the heck? It was
Sure
so
they pay you
fucking hilarious. I know. Make sure they pay you first. Okay, I'll let you cop a bill for a Benjamin. Like, oh my god. Hold on. There should be a way. Then hurry up and spill it. If it's something lame, I'll make you give back the Benjamin with 10% interest. 10,000%. A way to stab yourself in the right hand using only your right hand. It's okay, there's definitely an answer for this. I love it. Even though Nagito's right hand was free, how could he stand with his right hand? His right hand with his right hand. If he threw the knife in front of into the air and then the knife fall, could he stand his hand that way?
Is he a throwing knife expert?
Is he a throwing knife expert? Maybe he propped the knife somehow. Consent! I should take a picture of that too, the consent.
Consent.
Oh. The life-size Monokuma plushie. He must have used that to prop the knife. Makes sense. That's why there was a big hole in the plushie's stomach. He inserted the knife handle into that hole to prop it up, then he slammed his hand onto it. That's it. He had to place the plushie near him, and it also explains the mysterious blood on the plushie. So the blood on the plushie came from Nagito after he stabbed the knife into his own right hand. I see. So that's the trick. But for a moment, I seriously thought Monokuma died or something. A bleeding plushie is super scary. It's got the same fear factor as a doll whose hair grows too long. That's also a Japanese myth. It means it's a living doll. Their doll, the hair just keeps growing. So, yeah. Then they walk around the house at night. After stabbing his hand, he no longer needed the plushie, so he cast it off from the fire's origin point. He probably thought the fire would incinerate it and destroy the evidence. So what do you think now, Fuyuhiko? I get what you're saying about the wound on his right hand, but there's still one huge problem. The spear. Basically, you're saying Nagito committed suicide by impaling himself with a spear, right? If you think about the order, getting killed by the spear should have been the last thing to happen to Nagito. If that's true, how is that possible? He can't grab a spear with his right hand if a knife is stabbed into it and his left hand was all tied up. Then, he probably took the spear first, and as he endured the pain, he stabbed the knife into his right hand. There is a limit to his constitution. If you got penetrated by something so big and thick, you would die instantly.
Take a picture.
So taking a picture with that. Holly, this is your fucking... I'm trying not to show Nagito. I just want to like... I got it already.
That's so funny.
Oh, hold on. Let me retake that. It kind of like blurred because I was moving it around, and they won't shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I know. There, I did it.
I got it. Oh well, I got a really good. Yeah, I sent it too. Yeah, I love it. If you got penetrated by something so big and thick, you would die instantly.
Same.
I love it. Same. Oh, I said same.
I know.
I love it. It's just like, okay, this is a murder mystery game, and they have this, like, such crude humor. It's awesome. Oh, Kazuichi! ... I'm sorry, I didn't catch all that. Perv here. I'm gonna be just like Perv here.
Hold on, I need to just take a picture of his face in response.
I wrote Perv here. Like I said, if you got penetrated by something so big and thick, you would die instantly. Sending that again. Their name, it's actually Kazuichi.
No, his last name is Soda, wasn't it?
I know.
Or is it really his first name?
It's his
Soda.
last.
Soda.
And it's soda. It's like soda. Soda.
Yeah.
It's not actually like soda. It's
not
the man.
English. It's...
I love it. I'm sorry. I didn't catch all that. I just love that's like I said, if you got penetrated by something so big and thick, you would die instantly. I love it so much. Ah, say it one more time. I needed to record it for a reason. Let's take a picture of that too. He's such a pervert. Why is... There we go. I'm like... Hey bastard, you better cut it out. I love it. Say it one more time. I need it for reasons. Such a pervert. Like she said, in that condition, it's very difficult to stab yourself with a spear. It'd be hard to use a spear with a knife stabbed into your right hand while your left hand is tied up. So you're saying it's impossible? Jockey. But no matter what I think, I can't believe Nagito's death was caused by someone else. I also agree with that. To think that one of us could kill someone with such cruelty, I could never believe that. You say you can't believe it, you just don't want to believe it, right? But that's why you keep getting betrayed over and over again, right? Same goes for this time, too. You just shut your mouth. It's against the rules to interfere with everyone. If you even think about doing anything, I have a plan of my own. Monami's sassing me. But it's just as Monokuma said. We've been betrayed over and over again so far, so this might also be the same. Calling this a suicide takes too much for granted, and it's too convenient. And are you saying there's a killer among us, Kazuichi? Of course, that doesn't include Misonia and me. As Kazuichi said, it's true, we've been constantly betrayed. But even if I'm betrayed again, I still want to believe in everyone. No matter how many times I may be betrayed, I still want to believe in everyone. I also want to believe that there's no killer, but suicide is unimaginable. Do you really think so? But you said it too. It'd be impossible for him to stab himself with a spear in his condition. I did say difficult, but I never said impossible. Huh? I feel that there's some way he could have stabbed himself with that spear. What kind of way? I don't know. You don't know. It's impossible to figure out by myself, so let's think about it together. That's how we made it this far up until now. Everyone working together. She's right, we made it through several ordeals up till now by doing that. Then, even now... Alright, let's do this. How did Nagito stab himself with a spear? Let's work together and think this through. When a spear stabbed Nagito, his right hand was covered by the knife, right? He was only able to move his left hand, but his left hand was also tied up. That rules out his left hand. Hold on, it's still too early to dismiss the possibility that he used his left hand. Why? I mean, his left hand was tied up, you know? But there was something off about his left hand. The blood stain on the palm of his hand. Don't you think it looks somewhat strange? He only had blood on the lower area of his palm. Beyond that point, the blood stain suddenly cuts off, right? When the blood splattered, that's as far as it reached, right? That settles the description of that blood stain, but it's not the only unnatural blood stain. Look, there's blood on the back of his hand, around the middle joints of his finger. Like you said, it looks like an unnatural blood stain, but what's wrong with that? We might need to think and use our imaginations for a bit. If there's blood on his palm and the back of his hand, what was his left hand doing as the blood splattered? What was he doing? He was gripping. When the blood splattered, he was probably gripping with his left hand. That's why there's such a strange looking blood stain on his palm, the back of his hand. Is he grabbing his front tail? I gotta send that picture now.
Front tail, that's what she called it?
I don't know why she calls it that. There, I sent it. Important, dicks are now called front tail. I don't know why she calls it that. Of course, she is a little.
Well, I mean,
ditzy and
father, you know, they call it a belly finger.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't know if
it's not like even part of your belly, though. Alright. Perish the thought. He was obviously grabbing the spear. Now that you mention it, compared to the rest of his body, the wounds on his left arm are pretty mild. He probably made his wounds mild on purpose, so he could keep his strength while he gripped the spear. But even if he held the spear with his tied up left hand, it'd be impossible for him to stab himself. That's right, that's the problem. Hey Chiaki, what do you think? Hey, don't tell me you're getting sleepy. At times like this, you would always strike from a good angle, just like fixing an old TV. Ah, I got it, maybe. Huh? Really? Yeah, like I thought. It's no mistake that Nagito was gripping the spear, I think. However, what's important is what section of the spear he was gripping. Cord. That's it. Instead of the handle, Nagito must have been holding on to the cord. There was a metal weight at the tip of the cord, but there was bloodstains on that part too. Plus, the joint between the finger, the weight, and the cord had a bloodstain shaped like it was cut off by something. Not to mention at the very... Remember when Chiaki noticed that bloodline? Top of the thing in front of him? Yeah. Isn't the size of that cut off section about the same size as a human fist? Ah, you're right. So this was the part that Nagito was gripping, huh? And then the blood that was supposed to end up here ended up getting on Nagito's left hand. But why is it so important to know which part of the spear he was gripping? You're not going to say he gripped the tip of the cord, swung the spear around, and stabbed himself, right? That is where the clue to solve this mystery resides, right, Chiaki? I am sorry. Of course this mystery will not be solved that easily. Nagito was gripping the cord extending from the butt of the spear with his left hand. But from there, how would he stab himself in the stomach with the spear? It seems we are stuck. Shall we have tea time? At a time like this, how about we stick to the plan to think one step at a time instead of expecting answers all at once? That's a long plan name. One step at a time. What does that mean? Let's focus on the spear first, namely where it was and how it was positioned just before it impaled Nagito. How it was positioned? Nagito was facing up, and the spear was stabbed through his stomach. So it was just before that. That's it. Could it be the spear stabbed Nagito perpendicularly, and he was holding the tip of the cord attachment? I put those two facts together along with what I found at the warehouse and think about it. I should be able to figure it out. Where the spear was and what state it was in before it stabbed Nagito. It's my favorite thing. Not actually my favorite.
Let's go for a ride.
Okay.
Whee! Gotta learn the controls again.
Yeah. And I just hit. Wasn't paying attention and I hit it.
You thought you could slide by.
Damn it! That just came out of nowhere, so...
Where was the spear just before? I can't, it's blurry.
Oh god, I hate this because they started putting these things in here.
What are they?
They move, if you haven't noticed.
Oh shit, they do.
Yeah.
They swing.
Damn it.
Bearings. Ah.
Don't have to move with this. Oh shit. Oh, fucking A. Oh, I didn't make it in time. Oops. I almost did the same exact thing. Dun dun dun. The spear impaled Nagito as he was lying face up. It must have been perpendicular to him just before that. Perpendicular? In the middle of the air? If Nagito did that all that by himself, did he have some sort of ESP? That'd be awesome, but he probably used the ceiling girder directly above him. Nagito probably slung the cord over the ceiling girder, and using that as a support, he hoisted the spear directly above him. And if Nagito let go of the cord, the spear would have fallen and impaled him while he was laying face up, which is why it left a wound, because, yeah. I noticed a slight red streak on the ceiling girder. It probably got smeared there during the setup. The blood on the cord probably rubbed off on the ceiling girder as the spear was falling. So how about it? Using this method, Nagito could have impaled himself with the spear. Are you serious? He really committed suicide like that? He probably chose that spear so he could commit suicide like that. If someone else did this, there's no reason they'd go to all this trouble just to kill someone with a spear. I agree. When I was investigating this case, I kept thinking over and over how strange it was. Why did the killer use the knife and the spear so differently? So you're saying he needed to use that spear to pull off his trick? Then, this is for real? He really committed suicide? Every single wound on his body, that was all him? Not just that, he did that all while he was gripping the spear? Yep, that spear should not have stabbed Nagito until the very end. He was just like, going at it. Which means Nagito wounded himself while he was gripping that spear, right? Did he put the duct tape on his mouth too? He probably covered his own mouth so we couldn't hear him screaming in pain. Did he need to go that far? That's beyond crazy. Why would he do that to himself? He was probably trying to get us to make a mistake. By committing a suicide that looks like a murder, he was trying to steer us towards the wrong answer. His goal was to get us all executed. That's why he stabbed himself over and over again? Did he want us to die that bad? That's messed up. That's so seriously messed up. Yeah, that's our Nagito. Geez, and I was starting to feel a little sympathetic towards him. How stupid of me. I completely underestimated his capacity for malice. A mind-boggling malice that threatens us even to after he's died. That's the form his malice took. I'd forgotten all about it until now. If he was here now, he'd probably be sneering at us. However, there is one thing I still do not understand. He said he would reveal the traitor, right? Whatever became of that? He was probably planning to kill the traitor along with the rest of us. So why did he not just do that in the first place? If he had no qualms with killing everyone, he did not have to cause a bomb scare to reveal the traitor. I bet the bomb scare was part of the strategy behind this trick. He made us split up and search for a bomb so none of us would have an alibi. He created a scenario where any of us could have killed him. He tried to make us doubt each other and tried to hide the truth behind his suicide. Did he cause a bomb scare for that reason alone? He's a fucking bastard who killed himself for delusions of grandeur. It's not that unthinkable. You are right, I suppose. Yeah, it appears we've come to a conclusion. That bastard Nagito committed suicide. It was all done by him so we'd be executed. That should be okay, right? Right? What? You're not satisfied yet? No, I agree that Nagito killed himself, but I feel like there's something that doesn't make sense. It's probably just my imagination. Why? I mean, I sort of understand what she's talking about. I don't think it's a mistake to assume that Nagito committed suicide, but why do I feel so uneasy about it? Is it because we don't know who the traitor is, or what are you gonna do? Is it okay to proceed with the voting time?
What do you think?
What do you think, Akane? Well, there's no doubt Nagito's death was a suicide. Oh well, I guess my gut is wrong sometimes. You are right. It is not as though we can draw any other conclusion. Then it's okay to end it here, huh? That means we're done with the last class trial, and we can leave this island, right? It's okay to reach such a happy ending, right? Then it's okay? It's okay to say you've decided on the killer. Understood. Then voting time... No, hold on a sec. Hold on. Why? Sorry, just a little more. I want you guys just to wait a little more. I can't help but feel there's something still we overlooked. Like who the traitor is? But the issue here is who killed Nagito, right? Even if we identify the traitor, the conclusion won't change. That's true, but the mystery isn't just about who the traitor is. Huh? No matter how you look at it, Nagito's death is a suicide, but I'm a little worried, you know? I'm worried about starting the voting time while there's still a mystery. Hey, what do you mean it's not about who the traitor is? What kind of mystery is left? There's just one thing that doesn't make sense. It relates to Nagito's death. Plus, it's something even Nagito couldn't influence. He couldn't even tamper with the evidence for it. Something related to Nagito's death, and it's something that even he couldn't have messed with. You're gonna keep going? And here I thought we were finally finished. Monokuma file. Is it about the Monokuma file? Yeah, that's it. Huh? There was something suspicious in the Monokuma file? The victim is Nagito Komaeda. The body was discovered inside the warehouse near the Monokuma plushie factory. The estimated time of death is believed to be noon sharp. Not only is there a spear stabbed in his stomach, there are multiple stab wounds on each of his thighs. Furthermore, there's a laceration on his left arm and a knife impaled through his right hand. Are you there still?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, just making sure. The suspicious part of the Monokuma file that Chiaki is worried about is... What is it? What's hidden in the Monokuma file? Could it be? Is it something that isn't clearly written in the Monokuma file this time? Yeah, it's cause of death. I wasn't supposed to tell you that, but oh well. You're supposed to guess it for yourself. I hate this shit. I just don't care, so I just let them have it.
I think I have enough.
Huh?
You're like, I have enough life anyway for them to hit each other.
Yeah,
It's
I don't
okay.
really care. I meant to hit the F. Although it is making my health go down because there's so much.
Mm-hmm.
There's another A.
There's the T's. And where's the H? H.
What? That didn't work. Eight. There we go. Hey, in this particular case, Monokuma file, there's no specific cause of death. Not only is there a spear stabbed in his stomach, but there are multiple stab wounds on each of his sides. Furthermore, there's the last name. Oh, blah, blah, I already read that all. Isn't that weird? Until now, the files always specified the cause of death. But the cause of death is obvious, is it not? The spear in Nagito's stomach. It is obviously just by looking at it that that was the cause of death. Maybe it's not included if it's not important enough to write about. Well, Monokuma, I plead the fifth. There he goes again. I'm so appalled that I have nothing to say. But even during Gundam's case, and before during Mikon's case, the thing he purposely omitted from the Monokuma file was always the most important mystery in the case. Are you saying that applies this time, too? Hold on a sec, then, are you saying there's more to Nagito's death? Are you suggesting again that his death wasn't a suicide? You guys were the ones who said it was a suicide in the first place. No, I don't think it's a mistake to call Nagito's death a suicide, but it's not just a suicide. Come to think of it, did Nagito really commit suicide just to get us all killed? Are you sticking up for him? That's not what I meant. I meant it in a bad sense. Bad sense? I just remembered that his malice always defied our expectations, and that concerns me. For example, would that malice just end here? Huh? Did Nagito's malice drive him to risk his life for a truth we'd reach this easily? I mean, this is Nagito we're talking about, you know? How interesting. You do believe in Nagito, huh? Because you believe in his malice, you continue to suspect his malice. I see. I guess that's what passes for friendships these days. What friendship? What should we do, you guys? Should we proceed with the vote? I think we should keep going until everyone is satisfied, even if it's just to be safe. You are right. We only get one chance to vote, after all. Just to be safe, huh? I guess I have no choice. If that's the case, I'll do my best to go along with it. This is friggin' annoying. But if you guys say you're doing it, there's no way I'm gonna back out. Hey Monokuma, you heard us. The voting's gonna have to wait. We've come this far. Let's work hard till the very end. If we work together, everything should be alright. That's what I believe. Aw. Splendid. You guys are so splendid right now. That's right. If all your hopes are united, no despair can shake you. If all your hopes are united, no despair can shake you, huh? Now that I think about it, Nagito said the same thing. Absolute hope that can overcome any despair. He said he was yearning for that. Then the situation we're in might be the thing that Nagito wanted all along. No, never mind. I'm probably overthinking. Suspend. Man, my heart was racing like crazy when I thought voting time was gonna start, but, well, if you think about it rationally, there's no way it was gonna happen. We haven't done this bit yet. Most of the players probably figured that out too. You're the only one who didn't know. Isn't that right, mon ami? Hey, how much longer are you planning to sulk? Let's get along like we always do. Alright, you passed. Friendship is measured of how long you can stand the silence when you're all alone with someone else. So, mon ami and are the bestest of best friends. Don't say such stupid things. I hate you so much right now. Enough. Why do I have to be hated that much? Besides the fact that you snap at me like that, I don't trust you at all. Not even a teensy tiny 1 millimeter bit. How sad. Distrusting your friend is more shameful than being betrayed by that friend, you know. We aren't even friends in the first place. And as your older brother, let me say this. You're not even my brother. It's sad to live a life without friendship. That's even sadder than watching a high school rom-com full of guys. Well, there may be some demand for that. I fell for it. I totally took the man bait.
That's great.
Yeah, I know. Do you want to keep going?
How much longer is it gonna take?
I don't know. I mean, it could be... it's actually kind of a little bit long. It'd probably be about another hour.
Yeah, no. I should probably try to go to bed and calm down.
Because, you don't find the traitor. You find out, like, what happened to him. Like, how he died for real. Mm-hmm. But you don't find out who the traitor is. And then you gotta do the page thing, you know, where you have to select pages.
Yeah.
And then it looks like the trial isn't over because then you have to find out who the traitor is because it has to do with his talent. Like I told you before. So, I don't like this trial at all.
Yeah, that's a big trial.
Well, that's not the reason. There's other reasons, but I just don't like it. And I feel sorry for Monami. Like, it's just sad. Like, I was like so upset with this trial. I hated it. I was just like, why? Especially because I knew something about this trial. I ended up finding out, like, after the trial, and I was just like, it just made me even more upset. I was just like, what the fuck? This is fucked up. Like, this is so fucked up. But, yeah, so...
Why?
But, yeah, you'll find out who the traitor is, and, yeah.
So are they actively a traitor, or just...
Okay, so... It's revealed at the very end how they're a traitor. You have to pay attention to it, though, or you will not understand it. There's something the traitor says that... Man, they say something and it makes you think that there's something, but you have to pay attention to it. And I am not going to tell you. You can ask me and I'll tell you if you get it right. But if it's wrong, I am not telling you because I want you to keep on going to see what the fuck is going on. But I guessed it because it has to do with the last game. And one of the characters in the last game.
Previous game?
Mm-hmm. It has to do... They mentioned one of the characters in the previous game. It's not Byakuya. We're done with the whole Byakuya thing. That's done and over with. That's been done and over with. Mm-hmm. But, here, I'm gonna stop the...